제롬 파월 미국 연방준비제도 의장이 올해 금리를 내릴 거라는 구상을 재차 확인했습니다. 경제가 계속 뜨거워서 올해 금리를 못 내릴 거란 관측이 부상했던 터라서 시장은 파월 의장의 확약을 새삼 반갑게 받아들였습니다. 다만 파월 의장은 조건을 분명히 달았습니다. 경제가 예상한 대로 전개된다면 그렇게 할 거라는 얘기였습니다. 그러면서 바로 이어서 파월 의장은 경제 전망이 불확실하다고 덧붙였습니다. 인플레이션 목표를 향하는 진전이 보장된 것은 아니라고도 말했습니다. 파월 의장은 마치 외줄타기를 하듯이 너무 매파적이지도 너무 비둘기적이지도 않으려고 애쓰는 모습이 역력했습니다. 2024년 3월 6일 파월 미 연준 의장의 하원 보고 핵심 내용을 함께 보시겠습니다.
We welcome the testimony of Jerome Powell, Chair of the Federal Reserve's Board of Governors.
I appreciate the opportunity to present the Federal Reserve's semi-annual monetary policy report. The Federal Reserve remains squarely focused on our dual mandate to promote maximum employment and stable prices for the American people. The economy has made considerable progress toward these objectives over the past year. As labor market tightness has eased and progress on inflation has continued, the risks to achieving our employment and inflation goals have been moving into better balance. Even so, the committee remains highly attentive to inflation risks. We believe that our policy rate is likely at its peak for this tightening cycle. If the economy evolves broadly as expected, it will likely be appropriate to begin dialing back policy restraint at some point this year. But the economic outlook is uncertain, and ongoing progress toward our 2% objective for inflation is not assured. Reducing policy restraint too soon or too much could result in a reversal of progress we've seen in inflation and ultimately require even tighter policy to get inflation back to 2%. At the same time, reducing policy restraint too late or too little could unduly weaken economic activity and employment. The committee does not expect that it will be appropriate to reduce the target range until it has gained greater confidence that inflation is moving sustainably toward 2%. We at the Federal Reserve will do everything we can to achieve our maximum employment and price stability goals. Thank you.
As you know, recession and inflation, these are buzzwords. Are you now at a point where you believe that there will not be a recession? What is your position currently on a recession?
So, U.S. growth last year was in excess of 3%. What we're seeing so far this year is continued solid growth. My expectation, and that of other forecasters and of my colleagues, is that we'll see continued growth at a solid pace. I will say so. There's no evidence or no reason to think that the U.S. economy is in some kind of short-term risk of falling into recession. Having said that, though, there's always a possibility, a meaningful possibility that an economy will fall into recession. I don't think that possibility, though, is elevated at the current time.
Are you of the opinion that we're headed to a soft landing, Mr. Powell?
We're trying to use our policies to keep that growth going and to keep that labor market strong while also achieving further progress on inflation. That's our goal. And do I think there's a possibility we can achieve all of that while keeping the labor market strong and the economy growing? Yes, I think there is a possibility. Indeed, that is what we're trying to achieve.
I would ask this as my last question. Will there be some announcement at some point that we've had a soft landing?
I don't think by us, no. I think we're just going to keep our heads down and do our jobs and try to deliver what the public is expecting from us. We wouldn't be, declaring victory like that.